Today is Tuesday, Parashat Shemot. The parasha of this week tells us about the birth of Moshe Rabbeinu and him becoming the leader of Am Yisrael. When he was born, the whole house filled up with light, indicating the great stature, spiritual, the stature of the person that was just born. But as we read the parasha, and we see the quality of Moshe Rabbeinu as a leader, the pasuk says, "Vayigdal yeled v'tevi'eu levad paro." So this is the story about Moshe Rabbeinu was put in the river in a basket, and the daughter of Paro found him, but then he would not nurse from anyone, but Miriam suggested to bring one of the Jewish mothers, which happened to be his mother, Yocheved, and he's with his family, and then when he becomes older, she brings him back to the daughter of Paro. So it says, Vayigdal yeled, and the child grew up, Vatevi'o lebat Paro, and she brought him to the daughter of Paro. But the pasuk right afterwards, it says, Vayi bayamim ahem vayigdal Moshe. It's repetitious, and Moshe grew up. Moshe had grown. Why does the pasuk, one after the other, say about the child growing? So Rashi explains, Va'alo kvar katav vayigdal hayeled. It says already that the child grew up. Amar Rabbi Yehuda beRabbi Ila, Rishon lekoma ve'asheni ligdula sheminahu Paro al beto. So the first one indicates that he grew physically, he was an older person, and the second vayigdal, and he had grown, that Paro appointed him al beto, in charge of his household, in charge of his palace. But there is yet another explanation to the second mention of Vayigdal, that Moshe grew up. The second explanation goes to tell us that the pasuk says, Vayigdal Moshe vayetze elecha vayar besivlotam, that the sign of greatness of him having grown is that he went out to his brethren, to his brothers, vayar besivlotam, and looked into their sufferings. A true leader is a person who cares not about his position of glory, his position of kavod, of honor, his position of authority, but a true sign of a leader is a person who cares about others, is a person who cares about his constituency, a person who cares about his people. Moshe Rabbeinu lived in a palace in the house of Paro. He had all the accommodations of a royal household, yet he was concerned about his brethren, about his brothers, and he went out to see their sufferings, and he got involved. He saw two people, he saw an Egyptian hitting a Jew, and he got involved, and then the next day he sees two Jews that are having an argument, they were fighting. He got involved because he cared about his people. We see also that quality in more than one place. There's a midrash that says that when he was a shepherd for the flock of Yitro, one of the young goats ran away, and he chased after him, Moshe Rabbeinu, to find that he went to a place where there was water to drink. And Moshe told him, if I knew that you were thirsty, I would have taken care of it for you. And then he picked him up, and he was carrying him in his arms because he cared. He cared about the people, that his people, he cared even about the flock, and that's why he's called also Raya Mehemna. He's a trusted shepherd. Moshe Rabbeinu is the type of shepherd that cares not only for his flock and for each one of his little goats, but also each one of his people. So we see also that quality when he meets the daughters of Yitro, and the shepherds are giving them a hard time. He Vayoshian, and he saved them. So he cares about people who are in trouble. He cares. That's the true sign, the sign of a true leader. And Moshe Rabbeinu was a leader par excellence. He, every twist and turn, every time that there was trouble in the desert, after they went out from Egypt, he was always there to care for them, to plead for them on their behalf in front of Hashem. And he did this in a very, very dedicated manner. And even though he could have stayed in the palace of Paro and have all the accommodations and all the royal sort of treatment that they have in a palace of such an empire as Egypt. But the true sign of the leader is that he cared about his people, and he went and he got himself involved, and that's some of the aspects that have to do with Moshe Rabbeinu that we learned from the parasha of this week. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.